Hi Funkies, I hope you're all doing well. If not, I hope you'll do better soon. I wanted to talk about quite a personal topic today, and I've been thinking about it for a long time because I am making myself very vulnerable, but I think that that's important, and that it's also important to show people that you are not alone. I am not alone. In fact, we are never alone, but it's also nice to share your experience and your journey with people. So if you couldn't tell by the title yet, I'm going to talk about my weight loss journey today, and I'm trying to not keep this video too long. I always see people making videos about the progress that they made, or only finding the courage to put themselves out there. I'm not talking about everyone, but I would say most people only start doing social media and YouTube in particular once they've lost the weight that they wanted to lose and when they feel comfortable. I must say it was also holding me back for a long time, and that's why I only started recently. But I would like to take you with on this journey now, because I came to the conclusion that you can't always just put things in life to the side just because you might not feel comfortable in your own body and you're afraid of what people will say. Because even the most perfect people, or the people that are regarded as perfect in this world, they will still have people that will say you're not doing well, or you're not looking great, or whatever. So we can actually not waste our lifetime worrying about these things. So maybe I should start in the beginning and a bit about what my journey has been regarding my weight and my weight loss and whatnot. When I was a kid, I was always very thin until I would say the age of 8 maybe, and then I just started piling up weight quickly, and I also grew quite quickly. I was a very big child, I would say, in comparison to the other children, and I was bullied in school a lot for it, and even family members and whatnot. And when I met people, it was always a bit of like a setback for them, even in my dating life. But I was always trying to not be too affected by it, even though I was. And that whole body positivity movement, I don't want to say it's bad to accept people that look different, because we should accept everyone no matter how they look or who they are, and respect them. But for me personally, I just don't feel comfortable like that, and I think it's with most people. I even noticed some days I wouldn't want to wear something that is nice, because I would be like, oh, my body doesn't look good, you can see my tummy, or this or that. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable, I feel bloated, I just don't feel good in my own skin. So something has to change, and something has to change drastically. That's why I'm making this video now. In 2020, when COVID started, that was when I had my last year of school. Was it? I have to think. I have my phone, so I can look at pictures that I'll put either here or there somewhere on the screen. But I try to like keep pictures so that I have like a small timeline on when what happened. So I'll start in 2020. I still remember it was the 19th of June, one day before my birthday. I went to get my report and everything, and we had like a little celebration at school, but because of COVID we couldn't have like a big celebration. But that's when we took the picture that I blend in somewhere here, and that's how my weight was at the moment. I must say, for a large portion of my life I was always very afraid to, or I was always avoiding people taking pictures of me, or me taking pictures where you could see more than just my face. When people took these pictures and I looked at them, I thought, even though I look genuinely happy in that picture, I just don't look healthy, and I don't feel my best, and I feel very uncomfortable in my own skin. So that was when that picture was taken. After school, I kind of didn't know what to do, was a bit lost. I thought I was going to move to London as an au pair, and I went there and I came back after 3 days. And after I came back, it was almost like everything was shattered and I kind of didn't know what to do with myself. So for the next few months, I was just like a depressive state, and I was just at home, didn't have a job, didn't have school anymore. COVID was there, so you couldn't really do much. Then when everything started to be a bit more chilled again, I started working at H&M for, I would say, a month or two until we were in complete lockdown, which was in December 2020. And for a month I didn't pay a lot of attention to what I was eating or how I was exercising or whatever, and I practically just chilled at home the whole time. I think like most people did. The weight just kept piling up, but I never stepped on the scale, so until now I don't know how much I weighed, because there was a point where I stepped on the scale when I was still in school, and I thought to myself, that's actually too much and it has to be changed. I want to make myself fully vulnerable with you, so I think it's important to also share numbers so that we can track process together, see if there are any throwbacks or what progress I've made or whatever. I don't just want to say when I lost whatever amount of weight and I'm proud and I'm happy. I don't want to say, yeah, I lost this much weight and that was my starting weight, because I want to take you on this journey with me. So I think at around the time where we took that picture in June when I finished school, I think I was around 135 kgs. I don't know what that is in pound. You can do the math. So that was a point where I thought, okay, something has to drastically change, because that is just extortionate. But I didn't change anything, obviously, and I just started avoiding the scale, which is not good. I don't know how much I weighed when I started my weight loss journey in January 2021. I just started slowly, didn't pay much attention. Just tried to move a bit more, tracked it with my Apple Watch, but I didn't step on the scale at all then. Personally, I think it might have been around 140. I don't have many pictures of that time. I don't have any pictures where you can see me fully when I started that journey, because as I said, I was avoiding taking pictures. So I either have pictures with big coats on where you can't really see me, or just my face. Looked around the same as I did in June. From beginning of December 2020 until April 2021, it was complete lockdown, wasn't working. I was living with my mom and my sister, so we were all at home together. At that time, my sister also tried to change something and lose weight, and she did very well. And she started a bit earlier than me. I would say she motivated me a lot to go on this journey with her and be consistent. We both supported each other. We tried to eat around, or I tried to eat around 1,600 calories a day. I exercised nearly every day, home workouts, got my 10k steps every day, and just walked a lot in the fresh air because there was not much to do. Every day at 12 I would do 2.5 hours of clothing, and looking back at the time, I did a lot wrong, and I wish I would have been smarter, but also not, because we learn from everything in life that we do. In that time period, what time period was it? I have to think. Okay, so I only started tracking my weight around, so I did that continuously. I did that for months and months and months. Okay, not months and months and months. I think it was around 3 months, because as I said, in around April, I started working again. I think it was either April, end of April, or beginning of May. But then my routine slowly started to decrease when it came to the Chloe Ting workouts, but because I was working at H&M and we walk around a lot there, I still got my 10k steps daily, but I didn't do exercise in that sense that I was doing home workouts. 12th of April I took this picture, wherever it is, where you can see in my face and my neck, and also like my tummy was very flat and I looked quite toned, my legs got slimmer, just everything got slimmer. And it was only around that time that I've noticed it. I would say it took me about 2 to 3 months to really see, or I lost a lot of weight. And I don't know around what time it was, but I started stepping on the scale when I was at around 125 kgs. 2 months after I started my weight loss journey. That's why I say I don't know how much I weighed around that time. It could have been everything above 135, I would say. I would actually, as I said earlier, I think it was around 140. At that stage I lost around 15 kgs in 2 to 3 months time. In May I took 2 more pictures, one from the front, I'm going to show it here or here, and then the other one from the side a couple of weeks later, but still in May. And that was when my process was really going. What also kept me going was that I met my now boyfriend online around the end of January, which motivated me more because, as I said earlier, I had bad experience in my dating life and we had a long distance relationship. Okay, and the relationship didn't start right away, but it was very clear in the beginning that we are going to meet soon, and I thought, I don't want to meet him if I look like this. What if he finds me disgusting? What if I get rejected like I did in my previous experience? I must, like, not just dating, but like with people in general. And even though I knew in my heart that he's not that kind of person, there was still that fear from previous trauma. So I handled everything in an unhealthy way, and sometimes I would starve myself and only have 1 meal a day and have coffee to keep me going and whatnot. But I'm not saying that that's healthy. That was what I was doing at that time. June, on my birthday, I went out with my sister and my mum, and I took that picture, which you can clearly see in comparison to a year before. I mean, it's actually a very good comparison because the one picture was taken on the 19th of June 2020. This picture now was taken on the 20th of June 2021. So there's like 366 days difference, and you can see I made a lot of progress. And I think around that time I hit like a plateau where I couldn't go up or down anymore, and my weight loss slowed down drastically. I was about 114 there, 115 if I remember correctly. But I hit that plateau where I couldn't get further. And I was still losing weight, but it was just very, very slow. I was supposed to meet my boyfriend in person in June sometime, but my mom said, no, you don't know this guy, it's not safe, because he was still living in South Africa at that time. So I was supposed to fly to South Africa and meet him there, but my mom wasn't having it. So she said, no, you're not going. Over my dead body, you are not going. So it was heartbreaking, but I also in a way was kind of happy, which is sad because we already said I love you, and even though we weren't officially boyfriend and girlfriend, we loved each other and we wanted to be with each other. But then I was like, okay, I'm kind of glad because it gives me more time to work on myself and impress him, which totally stupid, I know, but that was what was going on in my head. In August I took this picture here. It was still around the same weight. Maybe lost like 2 kgs in the next few months, even though I wasn't doing my home workouts anymore, or not as often. I would still walk a lot during working, while working. I would still eat well, but I would say that I was probably eating a little bit more. Then August, September comes after August. That means this picture here with my boyfriend was taken 1 month afterwards. And I still remember in August I booked my flight, I booked my holiday, because he moved to Ireland in June actually. But because of the whole vaccination thing and whatnot, and I wasn't allowed to visit him and then work afterwards, and I didn't want to not get paid or get in trouble with my employer, I couldn't visit him. So I had to get the vaccine, but I got the first vaccine sometime in June, I think, and then I had to wait to get the second one. And then 2 weeks after that was valid, I could visit him. And that's when I booked my flight. And from the moment where I booked my flight and my holiday, I was hustling again. I was starving myself. I was going to the gym after a long day of work. I still remember I would work until 8:15, would come home and drive to gym at around 9, work out like a maniac, come back, and it was just a lot. And that's when I took this picture, and you can see that standing next to him, I actually looked like I wouldn't say I was petite, because I'm 5'7", maybe I should say that. You can see that I've lost a lot of weight, and that standing next to him, it just looks how it looks. I mean, you can see the picture. Sorry, I'm very bad with describing this. And then it was time for me to go back to Germany, and we were separated. But it was so heartbreaking to me that I decided to quit my job and move to Ireland with him. Everything was cool. I was enjoying, okay, now everything wasn't cool, but we can talk about this another time. But that was when I thought, oh, I moved now. Completely got thrown off my routine, because I didn't work, I didn't find a job in Ireland until January. So I moved on the 6th of November, and I only started working on the 10th of January. So for 2 months I didn't work, and I didn't do much exercise. Even though I signed into a gym there, I wasn't really happy in Ireland, and we weren't really happy in Ireland, and life was a bit complicated. I kind of started binge eating on food that I missed out on, and also around that time I stopped being vegan for many reasons. I kind of restricted myself for 4 years in that time where I was vegan, because I was vegan from the age of 16 until 20, I would say. Was I 20 there? I think so. And afterwards I just ate everything, donuts that I couldn't eat for some time, milk and cheese and beef and everything, and chicken and everything that just had like burgers, and you get what I mean, all the foods that are quite high in calorie. I started piling up weight again, but I didn't have a scale there, so I didn't really weigh myself, and I also didn't really notice it at that time. I must also say someone that usually walks around in sweatpants and leggings and whatever, and I think it's actually the worst thing that you can do, because if you never put jeans on, you don't notice that they get tight, or if you never put like clothes on that are a bit more tight fitting, how are you supposed to know that they're getting tighter and tighter and tighter? So I didn't really have anything to monitor it, and I also didn't feel like I'm putting on so much weight, because I was a bit delusional about it, let's just say that. April 2022, we flew to South Africa together, because my boyfriend's cousin got married. So we flew there. We took this picture at the cousin's wedding, and here, standing next to each other, you can already see that I put on some weight, but I myself didn't really notice it at that point. So that was on that 23rd of April. We came back to Germany. Also, wasn't really working out much or eating very, very healthily. I must say I'm naturally a person that is more inclined to eat healthy, but I can also overdo it, and especially with not moving because I work remotely, so my workplace is home. So I'll sit around on a chair, on the couch, or on the bed, whatever, for 8 hours every day. Afterwards, who wants to work out, or I don't know. And also when you're at home all the time, there's always food accessible for you, so you just eat whenever you lazy. When you're not really hungry but you just feel peckish, you just go and you grab something because it's just there. And then also, if not moving and not eating too healthily, because even though I had healthy meals, my snacks and whatnot, they were not unhealthy, they were unhealthy. And also going out eating and all that stuff, it just piled the weight back on. And then on the 4th of June, my sister took this picture when we went to a wedding. At that point, I could tell my boobs were just massive. I couldn't wear any bras anymore that I could wear before. And looking at this picture, I just see that I should have had like a wake-up call then. And even I remember when I looked at the pictures after the wedding, I was also like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. And here's another picture. I don't know what it is with the 19th and the 20th of June, but here's this picture on the 20th of June 2022. So again, 1 year later. That was almost a year ago now as well. And there, I didn't take a full body picture because I felt so uncomfortable, but you can kind of see I'm kind of like hiding, and my pants are very tight fitting. I still remember that I wanted to wear these pants for my birthday because we went to Amsterdam and I wanted to wear these pants for my birthday, but I ended up wearing something else because I just didn't feel comfortable wearing it, and it just felt tight and uncomfortable. And I thought, oh, what if I eat something now? These pants will burst. I didn't mention that yet, but in South Africa and in Amsterdam, with that weed consumption that I had daily when I was in these two countries, I would say, not daily, but mostly, the munchies that you get and the crap that you eat and everything, you just want to eat everything, hopefully just have flavor. And I was eating chips and I was eating gummy bears, and everything was sugary and oily and fatty, and it was just not good. After that, weight still kept piling up. Didn't make much of a difference. Or I always said, yeah, I need to change something, but we know how life is. We don't always do it. So then here on the 4th of November, we took a picture. I thought I looked cool. And I think that picture is okay, but never posted it. Never did anything with it. Didn't even want to look at it. Because you can see there as well that the weight just kept piling up. And that's when I started weighing myself again. And I was actually shocked at what I saw at the scale, because at that point I was over 140 kgs. I think it was 145. I didn't tell my boyfriend the number, and I thought, since September last year, where my lowest weight was around 107 in September 2021 to November 2022, I gained like 40 kgs in a year, which, how could I not notice it? I was just shocked and also a bit like depressed, because I thought I've made such great progress, and now I'm even more set back than I was there back then. And I just fell into that hole where I thought I have to change something, but I was just so depressed, not just about that but also about other things. But that also played a big role, where I thought, how am I going to navigate the situation now? Also at that point I had terrible joint pain. My feet, I had to wear these compression socks because my feet were killing me. I couldn't walk anymore, also because, as I said, I work from home, so I didn't move a lot, and I could just feel like my muscles and my bones and my joints and everything, that they were just like so strained with the smallest thing of exercise. Like even walking to a shop that is a few hundred meters away was a mission to me, and I just felt so uncomfortable and with everything that I wanted to do in life. And I'm not a short woman, and I'm also not a a slim woman, so I always felt like I have like this massive presence when I go somewhere, and if people feel comfortable with it, then that's on them, but me personally, I don't. And I also don't want to glorify being like morbidly obese to a point where you're actually straining your body and your health, and not just your mental health but also your physical health. I also want to be a mother and whatnot, and I would like to have a healthy pregnancy. I wouldn't want to put my child at danger just because I'm being foolish. So considering all these things, and also just like the comfort and the confidence factor plays a big role for me. In January we decided to go back to South Africa for 3 months. So it was this year now, this January. So this January we booked a flight to South Africa and we wanted to stay there for 3 months. And at this point I was terrified of flying, because I was like, what if we're flying now and the seatbelt doesn't close, or I don't fit into the seat? And also it's quite a long flight. It's like a 14-hour journey on the plane. So I thought, what if I'm going to be uncomfortable the whole flight? And I was terrified, and I tried to make changes quickly. Also I thought that this anxiety kicked in, and I thought, I'm going back to visit my boyfriend's family, and they all met me last year. What if I go back now and they will be like, oh wow, this chick has gotten huge in a year, which was totally, what do you say? No, maybe totally unrealistic, if that's the right word to use, because I knew that everyone knows me and most of them love me for who I am and not for how I look. But it was still an anxiety that I had, and I didn't manage to change anything until that time either. And then the flight came. There was nothing that I could do. The plane journey wasn't too uncomfortable, but my cushion on the seat was broken. It was sliding down. Then the armrest didn't lift up properly, so the flight wasn't very comfortable. And on the way there I had a nervous breakdown where I started crying, and my boyfriend had to console me. But when we were there, we said, okay, we're going to use this time to be active and to go to the gym and to do something. At this point I also started sharing my weight with my boyfriend, so that he understands why I'm so stressed about it and why a drastic change is needed and why I need that support, which he already gave me. And I said, look, this is the situation. And I also had to make myself completely vulnerable how I'm doing it now to him, because there's no point of hiding it. I mean, everyone can see that you're big, that you're bigger than average, so why hide the number? So in South Africa we joined a gym. On the 3rd of March I took this picture here. When we flew to South Africa, I think my highest weight this year was 150 kgs, or 149 comma something, but let's just say it was 150. We're going into the 50s, which is not always nice to hear that there's a new number before it, but you know, it's just a number that can be changed. Even with having weed every day, which you do you, I don't recommend it, especially not if you're under 18, but I like it. It helps me sleep and relax, and I feel very refreshed the next day. I picked up a lot of strength and muscle in South Africa, and I would say I ate quite well, but I didn't eat. I would eat well for 4 days, then make exceptions for 3 days every week, you know, so it was really not good progress. When we came back, I haven't made much progress. Only lost around 3 kgs. So when we came back, I was around 146, 147, and that's been, I mean, today is the 20th of May, so it's been around a month now. Since then I've been trying to do better, but I'm also mentally not in a good frame of mind. I haven't been for a long time, but it's like up and downs, and life is not always easy, and we can't always be happy, but I'm trying. And I also know that when I'm in a better frame of mind, everything will become easier. At the same time, I know that once I get into routine and better habits, and I work on myself physically and mentally, that will also become, or I should say, that I know that if I work on myself physically, which also caused me big distress, that I will be mentally a bit more uplifted. I want to be able to just interact with people and appreciate them without being self-conscious about myself, and reflect that onto my interaction with people and onto my relationships with people. I would like to continue with that journey, try and make better habits, and just get down more and take you with me. That's why I'm making this, what is so far 41-minute long video. I hope I can cut it down to be a bit shorter for you guys, because I don't think that anyone wants to watch me talk so long. So what my plan is for the next, let's say, 3 months, because I feel like if I give myself a set time now and I stick to it, and I can see that I made progress in this time span, also because I'm putting myself out here, and it is a very vulnerable thing, and I want to succeed so that I can take you guys with me, but also show that it's possible and not in an unhealthy way. Ideally, I would like to film a what I eat in a day video every day and post it in the evenings. Maybe like a vlog style one, not too long, maybe like 10 minutes every day. I would like to film these videos, and then I think it's also easier to follow. You can see what I've done. I don't want to start a YouTube channel just after I've lost weight. I mean, if I achieved something, I want people to be able, and myself, to look back and say, okay, that's how you did it. And I hope that I can be a motivation to someone, or that I'll find people that can motivate me as well. Yeah, that's the plan for the next weeks and months, until we feel happy enough to appreciate life even more, and to glorify God, and to be a help and a motivation to others. Yes, I don't want any hate on this channel. I am making myself vulnerable, and I hope that you appreciate it, because I always appreciate people that do it. And I know that it is a big step, but I actually don't feel afraid about it. Yeah, so today is Saturday, the 20th of May. The 20th of May? The 20th? No, I think that was right. Kind of sounded weird, I don't know. Today is the 20th of May, and I will start hopefully tomorrow or on Monday with recording. I don't want to be that person that says we'll start on Monday, because tomorrow or right now is the time. And I promise I have a healthy dinner. I might vlog it, I don't know, but I'll definitely be back. In fact, I think this video is only going up on the 21st of May, which is tomorrow, Sunday. So on Monday I'll start posting daily videos, hopefully, and take you with on my journey. I hope that you subscribe to my channel to be part of the fam and follow me around, and interact with me, write comments, and send me a message on Instagram. I don't know. In the next video I'll hopefully also talk more about my routines and my goals. I figured them out, because this video was filmed very spontaneously. I just had this pull in my spirit to sit here right now and film this video. Alright, bye! Bye. Wait, I can't find the button.